How's everybody doing? Give everybody a minute to get in. How's it going, Dimitri? Let's get it, Uncle Glove. I know you were rooting them games in with me last night. Da Flamenco, what's up? A lot of paperwork and analysis, I see. I still work old school. I mean, I use computers, but I still use my books. I'm doing the same thing for 40 years, my friend, and it works. Big Wednesday. It should be. Mavs, yes. Hello from Vegas, Charlie. Hello, buddy. Man, you're the truth, OG. Slim, I am. Stick with me. We've only just begun. What do we got here? My man John, thanks for the picks last night. That's what I do. That's what you guys come on here for, right? Well, I got you guys. If you saw the post, and I told you yesterday, our prices will be going up before baseball season. But if you remember, prior to April 6th, your price will never go up as long as you don't cancel. We had talked about our prices going up, but as I spoke to B, I don't want my guys that have been with me, I don't want their price to go up. So you guys are going to be grandfathered in. If you want to upgrade your service, now is the time to do it. After April 6th, you'll be treated as a new member. Okay? So whatever service you got as of April 6th, that price is grandfathered in, and that will never change. I'll never change that price. I don't care how long it is. But if you cancel, it's like you're a new member all over again. So guys, I'm not trying to trap you into a commitment, but this is the way it goes. You want to be with me, and you should be. Look, guys, I did it for you all year in NBA. I don't just say I'm the best, and I am the fucking best. There's nobody can beat the NBA line every day, all year long. I mean, you've seen it firsthand, so you should know by now. This is the real deal. I'm the real deal. Gonna do the same thing in baseball. We're gonna bet dogs 90% of the time. Gonna take a lot of losses. At the end of the year, we're gonna have a profit. The dogs are gonna hit just enough for us to show a profit. So get in before the prices go up. And if you're a new guy just checking out our live show, I don't know why you're waiting. Once baseball season starts, guys, I have not made up my mind how we're going to run the live shows. I'm definitely not going to be running down 15 Major League Baseball games a day. At best, I'll be giving out my one game, and we'll do a breakdown, especially with the NBA playoffs. That'll be overlapping the start of the season. So if you just come on the lives looking to get a free winner, that's great for now. Starting April 7th, that ain't going to work out for you. The price is cheap enough. Become a member right now and lock in yourself. And you can lock yourself in forever. Mike Sessage, good night last night. Yeah, it was a great fucking night. Looking for another one tonight. Dallas -1.5. That's where I'm going, and I'll explain it later. OG, you can't change shirt after winning day. I can't wear the same dirty shirt, guys. I gotta. John, you got a question. Why was the Maverick 4.5 yesterday? Today, the only -2. Mikey, listen for the rundown and you'll get it. There's always a reason. Because there's injuries to Mavs. Well, it's not this fucking phone. Not really an injury. Dinwiddie sits out the second game of back-to-backs. He had that major surgery last year. So they're going to keep him fresh. The main thing I'm worried about there is COVID. We'll talk about it in a little bit. What's your best sport? And look, nobody beats the NBA like nobody in the world beats the NBA like I do. So I have to call out my best sport, but baseball just as good. You won't see it as much beating the numbers, but you'll see it when you were filling up our pockets week to week. Luka is starting. It's the only thing we're worried about. Like I said, I want to make sure the rest of the guys are there because we got only one COVID positive. No, Sterling Brown was COVID earlier in the week, and now it's Burke. That's two guys. Not saying anybody else got it. Just want to make sure I see the lineups. Lava Locks. I want in. If you want in, guys, go to the website, howtobeatthebookie.com. Become a member. That ain't going to work out for you. Okay, Suns or Warriors. Well, guys, don't ask about the games. Like I said, we're going to go through every game. LeBron is out tonight. Got the alert. LeBron is out tonight. Well, LeBron don't play tonight. Suns -4.5 seems too good to be true. And you know what happens when things seem too good to be true. Again, we'll go through that game. Lot of engagement here. Can't go through all the things. Love it, though, that you guys are getting in here. Let me do some real quick stuff because we got a big NBA card. Guys, again, get in early. Get in at 5 o'clock. I'm not posting. Excuse me, I think I paused it. I'm not reposting our live on Instagram anymore. So if you don't get in at 5 o'clock, you're going to miss the rundown. And then you got to go to YouTube, our YouTube channel, to catch the rundown. Do not DM me. I missed the rundown. You don't have the courtesy to support us by buying a fucking subscription. You don't even have the courtesy to watch the live, but feel you can DM me and get the games that way. Horrible. Do not DM me. Go to the live. If you missed the live, go to YouTube. If not, maybe join. Maybe join for fucking $19.99 a week. Anyway, Ben, what's happening? Do I got Ben? Okay, we'll try Ben again. Ben looks a little frozen there on me. All right, Ben, I don't know. You're froze out. Maybe if you hear me, get out and try to come back in. Ben, I thought Jersey Shore was off the air. I guess you guys are busted on Ben's haircut. A few years back, my hair used to look like that. I used to have a little bit more hair. You are a god, sir. No, I am not. I'm just really good at capping the NBA. Just as good as capping Major League Baseball. Guys, get in. Do not miss it. We'll try to get Ben and his hairdo back on here one more time. Come on in, Ben. All right, Ben, there we go.
Yeah, they hurt my feelings with the hair comment, so I had to hop off for a second.
You bailed out? All right.
Yeah, someone's talking about it's just water, guys. Just water.
Well, like I said, Ben, why you got it, flaunt it. That's all. Look, for an old guy, I still got my hair and it's still fucking dark, so I'm happy about that. What do we got tonight, Ben? You got any basketball going on today?
Yeah, no college for me today. There's no games actually tomorrow. We got that NIT final, A&M and Xavier. We'll break that down a bit more tomorrow. I know everyone's going to A&M with that one, but we'll see where I end up. I'm looking at the total in that game, actually.
Okay, I think we're going to have Jordan on, too. I think he told me he's got a game for tomorrow, so that'll be tomorrow. Let's go right to the NBA. Like I said, big card tonight. 2-0 last night. Hope everybody checked in last night. Bucks, I gave you guys the money line first thing in the morning, and then we came with the Pistons. I don't know, 16-2-1 against the spread. Their last 19 games, Brooklyn can't cover at home. Some of the games just they tell you all you need to know, guys. Keep following them alive. Learn what I'm trying to teach you guys, and you'll be making your numbers before long. You won't fucking need me. Anyway, Nuggets at Pacers. We got a few games tonight where you have teams that are playing for seeding position, playoffs against teams that have been added and tanking, and this is one of them. Nuggets, they won their last game at Charlotte by 4 points, just getting the cover. They are at Indiana. Like I said tonight, Indiana sitting everybody almost every night. Brogdon, Brissett, Jackson, Duarte, Washington, Bits. I don't even know how to say the fucking Goga's center's name. They're all questionable. They haven't been playing. Don't expect them to play. Big number, though, 9.5 on the road. Denver are, let me see, are they 1 or 2 games ahead of the Timberwolves? Denver's in the 6th spot.
Yeah, they're 2 games up on Minnesota.
And Timberwolves are in the 7th spot, 2 games up. Remember, the top 6 are automatically in. 7 through 10 of the play-in. So you want to stay out of that 7th spot. Who does Denver have next? The Timberwolves. So big favorite on the road. Maybe a little bit of a look at. Don't want to lay that number, but absolutely no way want to back Indiana, Ben.
Yeah, guys, just Denver or nobody here. But like John said, look ahead to Minnesota. We'll see if we, can get a good live spot for Denver perhaps in this game. Like I talked about the other night, Indiana, really bad second half team, worse than the NBA in the third quarter in particular. Could be a look there at Denver in the second half, but I have a feeling this is going to be a game to try to come out, put it away early, and Indiana's not really trying to win games and potentially just rest Jokic up for the fourth quarter, looking on into Friday. So nothing for me in this one.
Next game we talked about a little bit at the opening, Dallas at Cavs. Mavs are on a back-to-back, but not really. Blew out the Lakers basically from start to finish. I don't know if Luka even played at all in the fourth. If he did, it was sparingly. He played 30 minutes the whole game. The only problem they have twofold. Dinwiddie's sitting out tonight. Dinwiddie comes off the surgery from last year. He sits on one of the 2 games when there's back-to-back. He'll sit tonight. As I said, Sterling Brown had COVID within the last week. Now Burke has got COVID. They're both in quarantine. That's 2 guys. When it's 2, then you start worrying, does a third pop up? Also, Ntilikina is questionable. So that would be Burke, Ntilikina, and Dinwiddie. 3 guards out if they're all out. Just want to make sure they're not missing anybody else. Cleveland right now, tough spot. Barely gets a win at home against Orlando and loses Mobley. They've been, just what I wrote in the previews, they've been a less than average team since Jared Allen went down. 5-6 straight up, 3-7-1 against the spread. And now they're going to lose Mobley. Mobley and Allen were the reason the team was so strong early in the year, especially defensively. Like Dallas in this one, as long as I got Luka and everybody else in there, Brunson, I'm going to be on them. That game started at 4 and has come down to 1.5. I think they're overcompensating, like I said, for Dinwiddie and not taking off enough for Mobley, and with Allen already being out. It's one thing when one of them is out. Both of them are out. You're leaving your center position to Moses Brown and Ed Davis and maybe Kevin Love putting in this. This is going to be a tough fucking spot for them there. So I'll be looking at the Mavs on this one, Ben.
Yeah, guys, without Mobley, it's just hard to back this Cleveland team. Tough spot. Mavs, both these teams need a win equally, but you just without Mobley, tough break for that Cavs defense. Also gives me a slight lean to the over in this game without Mobley. I mean, the Cavs have already been playing a bit to the over recently, 6-2 their last 8. Mavs been a bit undertrending. Matchup's been a bit undertrending, but just the defense, I just don't trust this Cleveland defense at all without Mobley, and especially without Allen in there already. So lean to the over, and I think Dallas is the right side on this game.
Orlando at Washington, 2 lottery teams here. Magic right now tied for the worst record in the NBA with the Pistons and the Rockets. They did come out to play their last game at Cleveland. Wendell Carter, he'll sit out again. Suggs has been out. He remains out. For Washington, Kuzma is out. Washington on a back-to-back. They lost against the Bulls last night at home. Just a game I don't want to get involved in here. If this game was about a month ago, this would be a no-brainer. I'd be taking the Magic +3 with the Wizards on a back-to-back. Magic have won 4 of their last 5 trips into Washington, 5-0 against the spread, and this would be a triple revenge spot. Washington have winning all 3 games this year. But again, it's not a month ago. It's now. Do the Magic want to win, or do they want more ping-pong balls for the draft?
Yeah, guys. I mean, even another stat there to add in on why it's not a good play for Washington. They're 4-14-1 against the spread. Last 19 games against teams below 400. So they don't cover well in these low numbers against some of the other bad teams across the NBA. You got all their injury issues going on. They've pretty much turned in for the season. Orlando has the history there. They're 4-1, straight up 5-0 against spread last 5 trips to Washington. It's Orlando or nobody, but just a lot better action on the card, a lot better edge, and you're going to have teams who are coming to play, whereas these 2 teams, I mean, it's a toss-up game.
We're not going to get involved in games, guys, that there's a lot of spots at this time of the year you just can't get a feel, is that team coming to play? And And that's what I always preach, that to be successful in the NBA, we want to get the team that's coming to win that game. It's what makes the revenge game so important. The home revenge, playoff revenge, okay, bounce back games. That's what makes those games so important, because you know that team's going to come, or they should be coming with a game. This game just don't get that feel.
Onto that topic right there, John, about just how people come for revenge games or games people are getting up for. If you guys know who Jay Billis is, former Duke player, he was talking in today about how that matchup with Duke and UNC coming up this weekend, it's just one of those games that even though it's a Final Four matchup, it's just so much more beyond a Final Four matchup. And I guess, I mean, I didn't know this beforehand, but Coach K, I guess, is someone who coaches a lot based off human nature, and he was going off on that. It's on Jay Billis' page. Go look into it. But it's just a good look into like the inside the locker room of how these players think and how coaches think about these revenge factors or big rivalry matchups, whatever it might be, into getting up for a game.
Well, when you talk about college, now I'm not a college guy, but when you talk about college in a situation like Duke, North Carolina, these rivalries go back further than NBA's. Nobody's around. Was Krzyzewski there for 40 years?
Yeah.
You know, so he's fighting North Carolina, you know, twice a year, at least 3 times a year in the tournament and everything, at least three times a year for 40 years. So you take the revenge and the motivation factors in the NBA, and I think we'd almost double them in college in those types of scenarios over a longer period of time. But let's get back on track. College is not my thing. NBA is. Hornets at Knicks is the next one. These two teams just played a week ago. They played in Charlotte. New York was the Knicks were on a run, won by 15 there. Still playing real good basketball right now. The Knicks last game at home, they beat the Bulls, and they did that with Randall having a pitiful game. This Randall is nuts right now. He missed a few games. Knicks were winning. He came back, played a horrible game. The Knicks won without him. So I don't know what's going on with this guy. Hornets, like you said, definitely need this game. They're in the 9 spot. Knicks, again, they're pretty much out of it. They're not going to make the playoffs. I think they're 4.5 out with 6 left, but they're still fighting. Them and the Pistons are still fighting. Just don't see no reason to take this with this game. Fournier also questionable. He missed shoot around today. So this game, like I said, guys, I make Charlotte 2. The line right now is sitting at 3. That's because of the questionability of Fournier. If Fournier's out, that's exactly what I make it, 3.
Yeah, guys, my lean's to Charlotte in this game, just with the spot. I mean, the Knicks here on a little 4-game win streak. The first game of the win streak was that win in Charlotte, so you got pretty fresh home revenge there factor. And Hornets been covering on the road. Knicks haven't been covering at home. I mean, the Hornets 13-3-1 against the spread last 17 road games. Meanwhile, you have the Knicks, and they're 2-8 against the spread their last 10 home games. So all that going in for it. You know, both teams are playing pretty well lately overall. Just a little fresh home revenge factor. Got to see what's going on with Evan Fournier. And this is also actually a pretty good game to live bet for the Hornets. I mean, we've all seen the Knicks collapse and blow leads in the second half. Hornets are a bit better second half team than they are coming out the gate. So if the Knicks have a lead here at halftime, could definitely be a look at Charlotte.
Minnesota and Raptors playing tonight in Toronto. 2 teams that are jockeying for position. Like I said earlier, Minnesota in the 7th spot, 2 games behind the 6th spot, which is actually Denver and Utah now tied, as Utah lost the game last night. If I don't know who saw that game, but I know you're a West Coast guy. Did you catch that fourth quarter comeback?
Yeah, just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I had a buddy texting me when they were down by 20, and he was saying Marcus Morris is the worst player in NBA history, and he was going on a rant, and the next thing you know, they come all the way back. But, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just like the playoffs. That's what happened in the playoffs last year.
Yes, it did. And you know, we talked about it yesterday a little bit. Was going to be Paul George's first game back in 3 months. And I said, I'm not expecting much out of him. And the guy goes and drops, 34 in 30 minutes? I mean, just, you know, this NBA is the craziest. Anything can happen. Again, guys, what I give you is an edge. And we're going to win with that edge. No guarantees, no locks. Any capper that gives that to you, they're trying to play you as a sucker just to sign you up. As a matter of fact, just before I came on, somebody sent me in the DMs. J.A. Cavaliers bet today is the Heat +5. Oh, what a surprise. So is ours. Getting back to the Raptors Timberwolves game. Like I said, T-Wolves in the 7th spot, 2 behind the Jazz and the Nuggets. They need this game. The Raptors own this series. They've won 7 of 8. including winning at Minnesota by 12 points in February. Toronto, they fucking hurt us the other night. Celtics, 4 of their 5 starters out, and they let the Celtics score 38 points with Smart, the guy that's going to score the least amount, the only starter in the lineup, and they scored 38 points in the first quarter. Toronto, they're in the 6th spot, looking to move up. Like I said, just won't buck the trend. That number's a little bit higher than I would make it, but because of the fact that Toronto basically owns the team, no interest in the Timberwolves here, Ben.
Yeah, guys. Raptors, 7 of the last 8 meetings, 5-3 against the spread. So it's them or nobody. But Minnesota's been playing pretty decent basketball. They are coming off a little bit of a losing stretch, 1-3 straight up and against the spread their last 4. But they really need to figure out the wins here down the stretch of the season. I mean, they're starting to have a little bit of separation between them and Denver. They're starting to be in that 7-seed play-in. And if Denver takes care of business today, then going to be pretty difficult to catch them down the stretch with a loss. So both teams coming up for this game. You guys know how I feel about T-Wolves in the start of games. They come out very hot in the first quarter. They've been top 3 in first quarter scoring all season long, and could be a spot to look at them. I mean, Toronto the other night looked abysmal in that first quarter against Boston, and could see Minnesota coming out hot as well tonight.
The one game I've got so far, guys, Miami at Boston, and I am on Heat now. You're going to be, John, why are you on the Heat? You guys have routinely heard me say Celtics are the best team in the NBA right now. Well, that was before CP3 comes back for Phoenix, and now before Williams goes out for Boston. He's going to be out for the rest of the regular season. They're saying he may be back for the second round. This guy is a big part of what Boston does defensively. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they were without him the first game, but they were also without 3 of the other starters, Horford, Brown, and Tatum. So tonight, they'll be their first game with all the guys on the court without Williams in the middle. I think it's going to be big for them. Miami's been playing terrible. They may have gotten a little better, held Sacramento down to 100 points, 123-100 win their last game out. So they might, that's sometimes when you're sick, mommy gives you a little chicken soup, you feel better. So maybe Sacramento was the chicken soup. Look, Miami, before that 5-game stint, they were the best team in the East. So they've had a little dip. I think they get back tonight. 2 games so far against the Celtics this year. Boston's won both of them by a combined 47 points. So you got a little bit of revenge. Last year, Heat won 2 of the 3 meetings, both games in Boston. They were also 9-3 against the spread the last 12 in Boston. I like the Heat in this one. I think they come up with a big game. I think Boston's going to need a day or 2, a game or 2, to figure out their rotations. Thies is going to be a big downgrade from Williams. Like I said, I think this game comes down to the last possession. Give me the points in this one, plus the 5, Ben.
Yeah, guys, Robert Williams, big loss here for Boston. I mean, they kind of were just downgraded Tice, especially. I mean, if you look at last year, they dealt Tice at the deadline because they were that confident in Robert Williams. It panned out to work. He's just that great of a defensive piece. So already tough to figure out that adjustment. Now you're going up against a pretty solid Miami team with a good center in Adebayo. So tough matchup here for Boston with the injury. You're getting points to a Heat team who plays well in Boston. They absolutely destroyed them last year in the last 2 meetings at Boston. And you also just have that double revenge factor from this season. And so my lean here in the game is to Miami. As far as the total, very interesting total in this game, just because both teams have been playing a bit to the over recently. It's 5 of the last 6 for Miami at 218.5 points per game. It's the last 6 games for Boston have all gone over 233.5 points per game. And last 4 trips to Boston all gone over 230.8. But both these teams, top defenses, both these teams battling for a 1 seed. It's going to have a bit more of a playoff intensity to it. And just really tough for me to pull that trigger on the over. It is pretty low number, 213.5. Sharps push it down for a bit. But I'm going to wait to see how the pace comes out in this game. Could be going live over if it goes down into the 205, 207 range, and that pace is there.
Just like Ben said, two of the top defensive teams. But again, Boston losing a big part with Williams in the middle. Big-time defender. Sacramento, Houston. Again, same thing. You got a lottery team and the Kings and a team playing for the worst record. Houston has now already ruled out Christian Wood, Eric Gordon, and Dennis Schroeder for the rest of the season. They don't want to win any fucking games. Sengun, the backup center, he's questionable. This is how many times you're going to see Sacramento 3-point favorite on the road? Well, this is one of them. It's Sacramento or nothing. Like I said, basically nobody playing on for the worst team. Houston, actually, they're not the worst team. Portland is right now, but now you take these guys off, and they're basically right with them. Just a quick note. Dallas just went to all twos in this game, so I'm just still waiting for lineups before I jump on this one, Ben.
I like this guy, AJR Lift said this guy gave out Wash State yesterday. Why is he on the live? Also give out the Underman's 1-1. And if you're going to judge any capper on one pick, you're in the wrong industry, my man. But as far as this Kings-Rockets game, it's kind of similar meetings they had earlier this season. They played 2 straight meetings in Sacramento. Now they're playing 2 straight meetings in Houston. They split the 2 meetings in Sacramento earlier this year. I feel like they're going to split these 2 meetings in Houston. Kind of a coin toss of which ones they go for. But this is a game just staying away from. It's a disgusting game. Couple of shit teams in the league. Both teams have star players out. There's no reason to be touching this game.
Absolutely. Just give me 1 sec because as I wanted to address this AJR Lifts a second. Because as Ben said, you can't judge anybody by 1 game. You can get blown out by 30 points. I've lost games in the NBA by 30. I'm the best fucking NBA handicapper in the world. We just don't win all of them. Maybe you do. Just here's a note, like I said, just coming up, Indiana. Malcolm Brogdon out. Whoa, what a fucking surprise. These teams tanking. Atlanta Hawks, OKC. What do we got here? You got Gallinari's going to sit out. Hunter, game time decision for Atlanta. Atlanta right now in the 10th spot. Pretty safe. 4.5 games up on the Knicks, who are in the 11th spot, just behind Charlotte Hornets. Do they want to move up? OKC, they're basically doing the same thing. Dort, Giddy, we're already shut down. They've shut down Gilgeous-Alexander now for the rest of the season. They really don't have a man, just about the only quality player left, and he's questionable tonight. So no matter what the number is, can't back OKC in this part. Different time of the year, guys. Some games just you got to let them go.
Yeah, guys, really gross game here with the Hawks and the Thunder. I mean, just a big number. Don't really want to lay it out with Atlanta. OKC just continues to get more dismantled as the season goes on. They're keeping losing more pieces. We'll see if Man plays tonight, but just another really gross game. I mean, if somehow OKC keeps this game close, would love to be able to bet Atlanta in the third quarter and second half, but just not a game going to be looking at too tightly tonight. Just too big of a number, and OKC is too dismantled to take them at that price.
Just let me see if there's any more infos in this game. I expect Pacers to sit everybody like they've been, and they are. Isaiah Jackson also out. Brissett, they haven't made a decision on yet. And Dwayne Washington Jr. upgraded to probable. That line is now moving to 10.5. Like I said, guys, Nuggets are nobody. No reason to back a Pacer team that's been tanking since the trade deadline.
John, I like the comment here. We got someone asking you for your whale play.
Yeah. The whale play. Guys, the whale play, is all kidding aside. I call it my love play. It's either I like a game, that's a 3-unit bet. If I love a game, that's a 5-unit bet. But I laugh. These J.A. Cavaliers and the other clowns out there. It's every bet's a max bet. Every fucking bet is a max bet. And then you get the guys with their 100-unit bets. It's all all bullshit, all ways to sell you guys. Come to the guy that you see every day. Like, a day don't go by that I don't beat the fuck out of the number. Okay? It's not luck. It's not like I go step outside, step in shit, and then make a bet on an NBA game. I got the goods on the NBA. I beat the line every day. By beating the line every day, what? You beat the line, you beat the game. And that's just how it goes, guys. When you got a guy, he's giving you a fucking game 2 hours, an hour before the game starts on a rock-solid number, and that line doesn't fucking move, what does he got on the game? He got nothing on the game. I give you games at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know where the line's going to go. We got the injury reports. We know what's going on. We anticipate what's going on. Now, somebody might not be out. A third person might not get COVID for the Mavs, but I'm worried. I want to make sure that doesn't happen. We don't get caught by surprise. We anticipate. Nothing goes by. Anyway, enough about that. Memphis Grizzlies at San Antonio Spurs. Again, here's the game. If it was held a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'd be all over Memphis. Memphis basically owns them, beat them 6 in a row. Three games this year by a total of 34 points. Yes, San Antonio is now in the 10th spot. Lakers are right now, if the season was over, they don't even make the play in the Lakers. So the San Antonio Spurs are in that 10th spot right now. Grizzlies pretty much now locked into the second seed. How many games are they ahead of Golden State? Is it 4 now?
5 games now. So, yeah, they're locked in there.
With five with 6 to go, they can't catch the Suns. They're not going to drop to the third. Pretty much locked into the 2 seed. They play Phoenix next. Okay? That's the showdown of right now. What everybody's thinking is the West Conference Finals is Memphis and Phoenix. Anyway, do they get up for San Antonio? Like I said, they've owned San Antonio. San Antonio's just coming home off a 9-day road trip. This would be a spot to lay the Grizzlies. The number is low. Triple J is questionable. Jaren Jackson Jr. I would expect him to sit, like they said, with an eye on Phoenix on Friday. So that's what's keeping me off this game, because I actually make this game more like 7.5. Game is sitting at 5.
Yeah, guys, that line came up 6.5 with some sharp action coming in on San Antonio a little bit. It's now down to 5. It's a tough game to back San Antonio. I mean, Grizzlies on the matchup, 5-0 straight up and against the spread the last 5 meetings. Spurs are the team with something to play for, like John just went into about Grizzlies pretty much being locked into the 2 seed. Spurs right now, they're kind of tied up with the Lakers and 1 game back of the Pelicans to try to get into the play-in. So Spurs have a bit more to play for in this game. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jaren Jackson Jr. out. But I actually like a look to the under in this matchup. It's 4-1 the Spurs last 5, Avs are 223. 5-1 Grizzlies last 6, and 3-0 the last 3 meetings, all 3 meetings this season. You got Spurs coming home, first home game after a long road trip. They're not a good home team, and obviously you're missing some star power there with Memphis with a look ahead to Phoenix. So I think it's a pretty good spot for the under tonight.
They just came out for Dallas game. I'm just surprised to see that game go to 2 on the info. That Ntilikina is out, so he's out, Burks out, Dinwiddie out. They'll be a little short-handed in the backcourt tonight. Granted, back-to-back, but they didn't play a lot of minutes in an easy game yesterday. So I'll do a little more looking into that game before I let that one go. That was the Memphis game. Next game on the docket, guys, Pelicans at Trailblazers. The only thing stopping me from betting this game is 2 things. Valanciunas, he's questionable for the Pelicans. Pelicans come back from a 22-point deficit and beat the Lakers Sunday. Who's right behind them in the standings? Pelicans right now in the 9th spot. And who do they have Friday? Yes, the Lakers again. So this is a little sandwich game. McCollum goes home. His first game back in Portland since the trade. Okay, he's going to want to light it up. Do they force feed him at the sake of the team playing well? We'll see. 14.5 points. It's Portland. It's New Orleans or nobody. Just don't want to lay this huge number. If maybe we see something on the game at halftime, we'll fool around with it. But other than that, Portland or nobody, but I'm not making a bet here.
I see this parlay capper with a little player prop parlay. Not a bad pick. I mean, C.J. McCollum, 25+ and a Pelicans win. Not a bad way to bet this game. I mean, C.J.'s return home. I imagine he's going to get his tonight. Imagine the Pelicans win. It's 14-point favorites against this Blazers team. But I'm with John. I would love to look at this game at halftime. Portland's actually been playing pretty decent in the first half. They've been hanging in there in the first half of these games. Teams are pulling away come second half. So going to be looking if there's that opportunity later tonight. Would look at McCollum's player prop. Definitely not a bad look in this game. And just a note, guys, with this Portland team, 4 of the next 5 games, 2 with the Pelicans, 2 with the Spurs, both playing teams. So going to be a lot of, they're going to kind of be a doormat for these playing teams to kind of just walk in and try to get their wins.
I'm getting a kick out of AJ _lifts. I guess he wants to be a fucking troll. Trolls get blocked here, my friend, just so you know. How are we not talking about the Suns? I'm going to talk about the Suns right now. You guarantee and they win. You sound like one of those guys can't guarantee his fucking feet going to hit the floor when he gets out of bed in the morning, my friend. So Phoenix, yes. Phoenix, if this was 2 weeks ago, the line I would make would be 7.5 instead of the 4.5 it is now. But Phoenix Suns have already locked up home court throughout. I didn't think they'd get up to play the game Sunday. That was my love bet, was Philadelphia against the Sixers. Just no reason for them to get up. Are they going to get up in this game? Again, locked up home court throughout. Their next game is Friday at Memphis. That's the game I think they want. If they get up for this game, absolutely, they should be every bit of 7.5. Golden State, terrible funk, different team without Curry. Dre is, since he's come back, he's not playing well. So this would be Phoenix and nobody. But are they getting up for this game? Does somebody get a night off? I wouldn't even think about touching this game till I got the locked-in lineups, Ben.
Yeah, guys, Suns are nobody. So I agree with you there, AJR. Seems like an expert in the chat, but it's a tough spot. Like John said, they got to look ahead to Memphis. You do have a little bit of Christmas Day revenge. I mean, at this point in the season, they are locked up for first seed and home court advantage. So this game essentially means nothing more to them beyond that. What are we going to get out of them? Don't really know. Golden State just looked abysmal lately. I did see someone earlier say in the comments that this game looked a little bit too good to be true. Sharps did push that number down, and Suns are the heaviest bet public spread today. They're getting 80% of the bets, 90% of the money. According to Action Network, not always accurate, but gives you an idea. That's where a lot of public action's going, and the line's still going down. Tells you Sharps thinking differently.
Guys, I go by where the line goes. And the two games, like I said, that everybody thinks look so easy. Memphis opened up 6.5. That game is sitting at 5. Phoenix Suns open at 6.5. They're sitting at 4.5. Suckers, the public, they do not move the NBA lines 1.5 and 2 points. Sharp guys move the NBA, okay? So we've said that before. That's why I tell you. I give you the games. The sharp guys are going to bet before the sharp guys bet them. I don't know how better deal you want than that. Like I said, guys, go over to the website, howtobeatthebookie.com, become a member. Right now, before April 6th, you get grandfathered in. It's $19.99 to be a weekly member on the website, $39.99 if you want VIP messages. I give you a text. Could be as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. Could be at 11 o'clock tonight on the Portland halftime game. Anything else, Ben?
No, there's just a question here. When Georgie goes, when you say sharp guys, what does that mean? Sharp guys are guys like John, guys who have been betting around forever, guys putting big money on the game. They know what's going on. They know where that action's going. And, not the AJR, for example, the guy who's going crazy in these comments.
Here's an example of sharp guys. I know I got a few new guys. I've mentioned this name before, so my guys that have been with me forever are going to know it. Check out Billy Walters' 60 Minutes interview. Google that. Billy Walters' 60 Minutes interview. These are the guys that have moved the lines in sports for years. These are groups of guys. They control it, not the public. You take all the offshore accounts. These are guys, certain accounts are flagged. In other words, I make a bet in a certain spot. My account is flagged. I'm taking +5 on a game. That game's going to 4.5 as soon as that bet is registered. There's guys like that. Check out Billy Walters' 60 Minutes interview. Google that, and you'll see what all the sharp guys are real about. John, what's your favorite play today, Stunner? Should have got in at 5 o'clock. Guys, get in at 5 o'clock. We went a little longer than we wanted with the show. We want to get done by 5:30. You don't catch the show, you'll catch it over on the YouTube channel because I'm not posting it or reposting it on the Instagram Live. Anything else, Ben?
No, that's all from me, guys. We'll be doing a stream on Saturday for the Final Four, a little bit of NBA action as well. And, other than that, we'll have some of those plays out tonight and tomorrow.
Quick response, guys. I know teams aren't taking any games off. Everybody always wants to win. It's just certain teams come with a different sense of urgency for a game. There's games, a Golden State team right now, it's a must game. What are they? They've lost 6 of 7. Got to find themselves. This is a sense of urgency game. Phoenix, doesn't matter if they win or they lose. Yeah, they want to win. Every person wants to win whatever they do. But there's a sense of urgency. San Antonio needs to win. Memphis is locked into the 2 spot. Again, this is what makes the games look easier than they are. Not saying both favorites aren't going to win. Memphis could win and Phoenix could win. I don't have a bet on either game. Pretty much that's it, guys. We're back here 5 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday. Let's make some money.
Good luck, guys.